Welcome to Monster Jam, as we are live on Facebook, coming to you from Detroit, Michigan at Ford Field, home of the Detroit Lions. Hey everyone, it's Jeff Kraft, and tonight's, well, it's all about Monster Jam. And the track is as impressive as the 14 superstars getting ready to tackle it in front of an expected packed house. For all of you here in Detroit who want to follow along online, join us at facebook.com/monsterjam. And for all of you tuned in from around the world who can't be here tonight to witness the action, well, we want to welcome you as well. Over this broadcast, we'll preview the action that'll take place here in the Motor City. We'll also let you hear directly from the drivers as they mentally and physically prepare for tonight's competition. Now, to get things started, let's head back to the pits where Janelle Marie gets us ready for the incredible action ahead tonight.
That's right. We are down here in the pits. We're getting fired up. All the crew chiefs and the technicians are working very hard to be ready for tonight's performance. I'm here with Monster Mutt Dalmatian's crew chief, John. What exactly happens before the show?
Well, we make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight, make sure everything's ready to go, and then she gets in and she does what she does.
Tell me about the relationship between the crew chief and the driver. How important is it?
It's very important. If you can click with your driver, everything works, and you're instant.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Lola is up with Candace Jolly, and we're going to get up close and personal and learn a little bit more about her.
So bad.
That's right, I'm here with the leader of the Dalmatian Nation herself, Candace Jolly. Now, Detroit marks the one stop on the long road to Monster Jam World Finals 18. Everybody wants to know, are we going to have another fashion show this year?
I sure hope so. You know, there is nothing closer to my heart than having my Monster Jam World Finals fashion show. I get to be on the main stage with all my Dalmatian Nation having a great time. And if you guys want to be there, all you have to do is find me on social media, Instagram, Facebook. You can be right there in the action having a great time.
I love it. Now, we're trying things a little differently this year, doing a point series. Does that affect your strategy on the track at all?
I'm super excited about the point season. You know, before, even if you made it to the finals, you didn't get any points. This year, now, if you make it to the finals, you're going to be rewarded. So I'm excited to get some points on the board and rock this house here in Detroit tonight.
That's right. Let's hear it for Candace Jolly, Dalmatian Nation, everybody. The Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Up next, let's get to meet VP Racing Fuel's mad scientist, Lee O'Donnell.
Here he is, VP Fuel Racing, Lee O'Donnell. We have the whole crew here. You know, you have a great racing record here in Detroit. Is there something about this track that suits your racing style?
You know, I think it's these Detroit Monster Jam fans. You know, I come out here and, I just want to, it's the Motor City. You know, if you're going to win anywhere, you want to win here.
It seems that every time that you are here in Detroit in the Ford Field, you're here in a different truck. You know, tell me about the difference about the ride in your mad scientist. Does it bring out the mad in you?
Yeah, you know, as you can see, I bring an entourage with me, and that's the way VP Racing Fuels. That's the way they roll. So yeah, you know, this truck it's special. They came out this year, and you know, I'm here to push VP Racing Fuels. They're a small engine fuel. If you have a snowblower, I'm sure pretty much everybody in here does, snowmobiles, and when you crank on it and it doesn't start, you got bad fuel. VP Racing Fuels has the product that'll fix that.
Are you ready to bring the competition tonight? Is there any specific event you're looking forward to?
I'm a racer. I want to win.
That's right. Here he is one more time, Lee O'Donnell, VP Racing Fuel Mad Scientist. Let's give it up for him. coming all the way from Circleville, Ohio, Rick Steffens, driver of Samson. You know, you've made the transition from your crew duties all the way to becoming a driver. Do you stay involved in working on your truck?
Oh yeah, every time I'm involved in tightening every nut and bolt in this thing, and I'm just growing up as a crew chief and working on the trucks. I think it gives me a nice little advantage. I can feel feelings that people that don't have that knowledge can't.
You know, I was taken by surprise when I found out that, you know, you work on your truck as well.
Oh yeah, it's a dying breed, I guess you could say, where people get to work on the trucks and drive them too. It's exhausting, but the reward is that much more.
You know, do you feel any pressure following the footsteps of an icon, Dan Patrick, who is also your father-in-law?
Oh yeah, I mean the father-in-law thing's always it's fun for us. But there's always that pressure with this truck. It was always a dominant force in racing, no matter when it showed up, and hopefully I can grow into making that role happen again.
Absolutely. I wish you the best of luck tonight. Once again, this is Samson's drivers, Rick Steffens. We're going to get to know a little bit more about Mechanical Mischief, Jim Burns.
I'm in section 134 with some crazy fans, and we're cheering on Jim Burns, Mechanical Mischief. Now, you've already raced a couple times in the arena competition this year. How does it change coming from an arena to a stadium?
Oh, we make a few mechanical changes with the truck as far as shocks, shock tuning, and air pressure in the tires. And a lot of it has to do with changeover for the driver as well. You know, we're used to running in the smaller arena, and you got to tune yourself back in for these big floors and build up your speed a little bit more.
Now, are you fulfilling a lifelong dream of yours, driving a Monster Jam truck? Talk about that.
Oh, absolutely. I was just like every other youngster in the stands, you know, saying, boy, that would really be cool to do someday, but you kind of lose sight of it and think, boy, I don't know if that's even possible, you know, but worked 2 full-time jobs for probably 5 years to save up enough money to buy parts and pieces, 7 years to build the truck, and been out here for 10 years now.
Well, we're looking forward to your run tonight. Everybody have it up for Jim Burns. Up next is Aaron Kane with Quad Chaos.
Well, a virtual unknown here to the field. That's possibly an advantage, maybe a disadvantage. I'll ask you that in a second. But Quad Chaos was debuted this last year at the Monster Jam World Finals. Talk to us a little bit about the design of the truck.
Yeah, we really like to ride, and we thought the four-wheeler thing would be a great idea for the Monster Truck Worlds. You know, it really brings in all the riders out there, and you know, I love driving the truck. It's fun.
All over the country, of course, they got quad riders, but this is a quad that is basically 12 feet high. It's pretty impressive. I like that. Now let's talk about the advantage or disadvantage. Again, a virtual unknown. It is your Monster Jam debut. How do you feel about that?
You know, I think it's going to be an advantage. You know, these guys don't have any idea what I'm going to come out and do, and there's a heck of a lot of awesome fans in here, so I'm definitely going to come out there and do something crazy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, good luck tonight again on your debut. Aaron Kane, once again, driving Quad Chaos. We're going to be right back with D-Rad, Dave Razira's driver of Extreme Diesel, when we come back. Well, they like to call him a D-Rad. Dave Razira's Extreme Diesel. I got to ask you, during the party in the pits, how many times were you asked, is there a diesel under that body?
I was asked that quite a bit, and I often get asked that. And, you know, well, you just have to wait and find out, but we're going to put on a show regardless.
Well, you definitely are going to put on a show. The truck looks fantastic. Let's talk about the inspiration the fans give you. All the drivers, it's exciting to jump into those Monster Jam trucks and drive, but it's not as exciting as if the fans aren't into it. The fans really come into play each and every week.
You know, it's funny you say that because the fans actually come into play in the middle of the week, too. The nights I'm out there, I want to give up. I don't want to do it. Truck's giving me trouble. It's the fans. It's the emails. It's the Facebook. It's all that stuff that keeps me going, keeps me working hard. I promise you some of the best fans in the world are right here in Detroit. And if it wasn't for that, you know, 2 days ago I was working on that truck, and it was the drive of the fans that made me make it happen and make it here.
Well, Extreme Diesel and Motor City kind of go hand in hand, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We know this is the Motor City capital of the world, and I'm here to show them what it's about.
Once again, D-Rad driving Extreme Diesel. We'll see you a little bit later on. Good luck. We're going to be back with more superstars from Monster Jam.
I'm over here with the cool kids. That's right, and Metal Militia, Matt Byton. Now, the newest driver to the Monster Jam circuit. Tell me, what's going through your head? How are you taking it all in?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot going through my head. It's my first event, and I'm just happy to be out here at Monster Jam. But, you know, it's not my first rodeo. I got a big freestyle motocross background, and I love nothing more than being out in front of the crowd. So I want to hear you out there so we can get rowdy Militia style.
Now, you are no stranger to big competition, having won several X Game medals. So how did that competition prepare you for Monster Jam?
You know, just the intensity. I know tonight's going to be intense. I got my hands full. There's a lot of great drivers out here, man. These guys are good. I've looked up to a bunch of them, too. John Zimmerman's been my coach, and, it's going to be intense tonight. You guys are in for one. I know that.
Now, have you got anything for your Metal Militia fans tonight? What do you got to say for them?
Man, I just want to thank all the Militia fans, keeping it real, Metal Militia style, and, you know, I'm here to represent for Freestyle Motocross and Monster Jam, and let's get rowdy, everyone. We want to hear you.
Well, you know, we all have predictions. As you were driving in here, or if you're just sitting at home, you have a prediction on who you think is going to win tonight or who you want to win tonight. I know you and I both do. Who do you think it is? Well, Janelle, let's talk to you. Let's talk about Monster Jam Racing. Who do you think is going to take it in front of this great crowd tonight?
You know, the lineup is pretty heavy tonight, but I'm going to go with VP Fuel Racing, mad scientist Lee O'Donnell, because his record, I mean, beats out everyone here.
It does. You know, he has the most success over the last few years here in Detroit, and he's been in his truck, I think, more than anybody else over the last few months. So he's very comfortable in that seat. But I don't think he's as comfortable as Charlie Pocken. I think Charlie Pocken and Gravedigger is going to race around this track and break some records. So that's my pick, is Charlie Pocken. Now, let's move on over to freestyle. Monster Jam Freestyle tonight, your pick.
You know, I've been kind of sensitive, you know, with this because I wanted to go with Charlie Pocken, but I think I'm going to go with Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Candice Jolly. I mean, she's been the freestyle champion last year in the stadiums.
Well, she was the only one that won a freestyle championship last year of the entire field. You were also with her over in Chile, but I again think you might be a little wrong on that one. I'm going to go back to Charlie Pocken once again, and I think Gravedigger is going to take freestyle. I was with Charlie in Australia, and what a show he put on. So that is my choice, Charlie Pocken, taking on freestyle tonight in front of the great crowd here in Detroit. But of course, what do you think? The fans always have a voice as well. Who do you think is going to take racing? Who do you think is going to take freestyle tonight?
Well, I'm here with some rowdy fans over here, and we are predicting who is going to win racing tonight. So who do you think is going to win racing tonight?
Go for Gravedigger.
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 Any non-Gravedigger fans?
No. Gravedigger.
All right, anybody? Who else? Who we got?
I don't know.
How about freestyle? Who you guys rooting for freestyle? You got somebody else other than Gravedigger? Uh-huh.
Metal Militia.
Ooh, Metal Militia, nice. Well, if I had to cast my vote, it would be on the Jolly Train, only because she mastered freestyle last year, so I'm rooting for the Dalmatian Nation, Monster Mutt.
Well, I'm with the man himself, Charlie Parkin. How many Gravedigger fans do we have in Detroit, and how many do we have at home watching right now? Driving here in Detroit and Motor City, Charlie Parkin. You know, this is basically a hometown crowd for you, being out of Ohio.
This is. I'm only about an hour away from here. Man, I consider this my personal playground here in Detroit. I love to come here and please my Monster Jam fans.
Well, I know the Monster Jam fans are excited for you, and once again, the line was incredible, going up into the stands, everybody wanting to meet you. Let's talk about the World Finals. You're no stranger to the Monster Jam World Finals. There's a lot of folks that come from the East Coast, Detroit, Texas, all over the country out west to Las Vegas.
There is. And, man, even around the world I've seen people. But, hey, I fly out of Detroit here to head out to Vegas, and I see my Monster Jam fans on the plane going out there. It's great. So, you know, go ahead and join me on my flight out to Vegas. I'd love to see you guys come out there. It's the show of all shows. There's nothing like it in the world.
There really is, and you and I have been out there multiple times. How would that be? Sitting in a plane, heading out to Vegas, and all of a sudden you look over and you see Charlie Parkin. That'd be pretty good. Hey, Charlie, good luck tonight. Let's get back to some more Monster Jam superstars.
Woo, we are having a blast over here with the big Kahuna. Now, tell me, Sean Chain, you started as a crew driver, and you started as a crew member and switched over to the driver. Talk about the transition of becoming a Monster Jam driver.
I started out racing motocross, racing off-road, did some desert racing and stuff, and then circle track cars, and then ended up in monster trucks. It was just a natural transition.
Naturally, he says. Well, we know at home you have a solid support team, so that way you can keep your truck on the road. Talk about the support that you get at home.
Man, I have friends, family, everybody there. I've got my son. He races. He drives a Earthshaker monster truck for Monster Jam. He's on the Triple Threat East Coast tour. And then when he's home during the week, he helps me. And then my wife's in there helping me every hour she can.
I love it. Let's hear it for Big Kahuna, everybody. Up next is Soldier Fortune's Chad Fortune.
Honor, code, loyalty. Are we clear? Are we clear?
Here representing the armed forces, we have Chad Fortune here with us today. You know, the last time you were in a Monster Jam truck in 2016, you were in Frankfurt, Germany. You know, talk about how Monster Jam has truly become into an international sport.
Yeah, how great is that? You know, we have the greatest fans in the world here in the United States, but you know, what a pleasure it is to bring Monster Jam to the world. This past summer, I was able to go to Frankfurt, Germany. Great crowds. You know, they've seen monster trucks, you know, when we do Holland and going throughout Europe. Now we're bringing it out to Australia and Japan, going into South America. Monster Jam is everywhere, and just to see the new crowds and the new faces that see what we get to do, it's a blast.
You know, we can't talk about it enough. How honored are you to be able to represent those who protect our freedom?
Yeah, this is the truck I'm most proud of, you know, honor the real heroes, the men and women who fight for our country, keeping us safe so we can be out here playing monster trucks.
A big thanks to you, Soldier Fortune, Chad Fortune. Now, let's get to know Raminator driver Mark Hall.
Well, Mark, with Monster Jam celebrating 25 years, you're celebrating a milestone as well. 30 years in the industry. My goodness, a lot has changed over the years.
Oh, it has. You know, the trucks have changed. You know, the suspensions, the horsepower, all that kind of stuff. It's a night and day from a difference from when I started. But I tell you, if somebody would have told me 30 years ago I'd still be doing this, I'd have never believed them. But it's been a lot of fun. And my mom reminds me. She says, you know, in all those years we've been doing this, you've got to go a lot of neat places and meet a lot of neat people, and all because that truck with silly tires on it. And she's right. You know.
Well, we talk to a lot of drivers, and they say they like to go fast. Oh yeah, I like to go fast. I like to. You're the king of fast. You currently hold the world record going 99.1 miles an hour. That is incredible, but I know you want to break that record. You want to get to triple digits.
Absolutely. You know, I wanted that century mark so bad, and when we tested for it, we ran 104, and then when we were there, and Guinness was there, and the area we had to do it in was a little bit shorter, so we ran 99.1. You know, I felt like we left a little on the table there, but, you know, maybe we'll go back and do it again and hype it up again and be over 100 miles an hour. You know, there's only going to be one guy that's the first guy over 100 miles an hour, and I want to be that guy.
You want to be that guy. Well, imagine that. A Monster Jam truck going 100 miles an hour, blowing right by you on the freeway. It's Mark Hall, Raminator. Hey, good luck tonight. Let's go over and check out Stephen Thompson, driver of Hurricane Force.
That's right. Blowing into Detroit with Hurricane Force is Stephen Thompson. Now, last year you won our Monster Jam Technician Award. Tell us, what is that and what does it mean to you?
The Monster Jam Technician Award. It's basically you get all the technicians, the top technicians of 2016. You get them all lined up. You pick the best one, the one who worked the hardest. Fortunately, we got that award. We drive the semi up and down the road. We fixed this Hurricane Force monster truck. We drive it. We do this all and all for these fans. And, you know, if it weren't for these guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. And we're going to rock this place and give it to all these guys.
That's right. Now, how do you stay inspired to work the long hours, keeping Hurricane Force in show shape?
These guys right here, all these kids, you know, we work our tails off night and day, week after week for these guys. You know, we come out here, we tear the truck up. We don't sleep much throughout the week, but we get the truck back together, and it's for these kids, man. They bring their parents out here, and like I said, if it weren't for these guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and we thank you guys.
Let's hear it for Stephen Thompson, everybody. Up next is Tim Mente in Storm Damage.
What a pleasure it is to be able to present to you Tim Mente's Storm Damage. This is not your first rodeo. What is one of the most gratifying part about being a part of Monster Jam?
Oh, Monster Jam's the upper tier of monster truck racing. There's so many things, I couldn't pick just one. You know, it's the camaraderie amongst all the competitors. We all work together. The fans, the different places we get to go visit and see on the road. You know, we drive the semi, so we get to see lots of different things.
When it comes to freestyle, we have to know, do you plan it out or do you kind of just go with it?
Look at this track. How many different obstacles are there? You can plan the first and second one, but after that, your heart gets into it. You just keep the momentum going, hit the next one. Maybe you can do a double move, you know, big air, donuts, let it fly, all from the heart, all for you fans.
Now, let's get to know Dragon's John Zimmer.
I'm here with some mighty Dragon fans. John Zimmer. Now, you have been very helpful in getting new Monster Jam talent. Can you talk about the process of getting into Monster Jam in regards to fitness and abilities?
Yeah, nowadays we have what's called Monster Jam University, which I get to be a part of along with Charlie Pauken and Tom Mentz. We're getting the teachers. So what Monster Jam University is it's bringing the new blood into the sport. Nowadays it's not just big old trucks we pulled off the street. It's a lot of work for the crew and especially the drivers. With the new Triple Threat series, these guys don't just show up, drive, and they're done. They need to make sure they do cardio all week long. They're in the gym because I've been doing it almost 18 years as far as crewing and driving, and I'm getting old, so now I've got to start doing it.
Well, every new season brings familiar faces to new places, and you've been all over the world in so many different trucks. You're here now tonight in Dragon. Can you talk about the transition and how you got into Dragon?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. We get moved around with our jobs, and like you said, I've been able to drive probably 20 different names, but one thing's for certain, one of those names was housed here in Detroit, Michigan for 8 years of my career. So this is like a second home for me. The one thing that's cool is the colors are still black and green, and I'll always drive for these fans no matter what it is.
Well, let's hear it up for John Zimmer, everybody in Dragon!
Hey, Monster Jam fans. I'm Lee O'Donnell, driver of the VP Racing Fuels Mad Scientist. The night starts right here in qualifying. Trick is, you got to be the fastest guy in the building. Or girl. Candace, tell them about racing.
Really cut this time. Bring that thing as high as you can. Drag the tailgate as far as you can go and hit the biggest score. Charlie Pumpkin, tell us about freestyle.
That's right, freestyle. I'm Charlie Pauken, driver of Grave Digger. Boy, I love my freestyle. There's nothing like coming out here and hitting things big, hitting things hard, getting the truck all what I call cattywampus, and making it dance. That's what freestyle's about, putting you people on your edge. My Monster Jam fans cheering me on. That's what pumps me up, is hearing them get loud. Who else likes freestyle? Come on, let me hear you get loud.
Well, that is going to do it for us here on Facebook, as we are just moments away from watching and feeling the horsepower roll into Ford Field. And for the 14 superstar drivers, it's the beginning of their quest to win the critical first points of the season on this tour and on their journey towards the Monster Jam World Finals 18. Keep checking back for the latest news and highlights on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. And be sure to check back next week as we come to you live once again on Facebook, not once, but twice. Tune in as we bring you all the pre-show action from Arlington, Texas and Glendale, Arizona, 1 week from today. From all of us here in Detroit, for Janelle Marie, Lola, I'm Jeff Kraft. We'll see you next time.